This is a Matt Powell special today on the Sunday Stupid. Well, hello there, dearest viewer, and welcome back to my little corner of the YouTubies. Thank you very much for joining me. If it's your first time here, please click bell notifications and subscribe and share. You know the drill by now, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence by going on about it anymore. So, this is, as said, a Matt Powell special. I was going to do an audit video because they seem quite popular, but then this video popped up. And there's so much stupid in it, I couldn't ignore it. So, I watched the video and I left him a comment from my Mr. Jones Plays, which is my gaming channel. And I left him a comment, this comment actually. And I said, here's a comment you can hide or you can block me from your channel like you did with Mr. Jones 1972. So, pause it there, have a quick read, and then press play. Hello! Yes, so I left him that comment, and then I went on to Mr. Jones 1972, and then I went back to the video, and hey presto, within 20 minutes, that comment had disappeared. Now, either he's got a team behind him or he doesn't get any sleep. I don't know, and I don't particularly care. But what a really, really dishonest thing to do. I mean, I have comments on, I have loads of comments, and some disagree with me, some agree with me, but I always leave them on. The only people that I don't allow on are porn bombers, and people who start accusing me of being a bad father or what have you, which I did a couple of weeks ago. Somebody said, what's questioned my parenthood, basically. So I banned him, and I won't have that. Bit of banter, not bothered about. That's absolutely fine. Go on about me being a dad, that's not fine, and you're out. Anyway, this Matt Powell, he has 5 proofs of a young universe. And we're going to see what those proofs are right now. So, Matt Powell, take it away. The floor is all yours, officially.
I wanted to do a video about the top 5 proofs of a young universe and just demonstrate that the universe is not 13.7 billion years old like people have said.
Yes, it is.
But that it's actually young and was created recently.
No, it wasn't.
And the first reason that we know this is because of short period comets. Now, if you're not sure what those are, they are balls of ice that are floating about in space right now, and they deteriorate in less than 10,000 years. And so short period comets are all over our galaxy, all over the solar system, and they're going about in an orbit and they are deteriorating over time. And if our solar system was 4.5 billion years old, those things would not even exist. They would have completely deteriorated by now.
Well, short period comets have an orbital period of less than 200 years. So obviously the most famous one is Hallies Comet, which orbits every 76 years. The first observation, I think, was in 266, 265 BC. And obviously the next one will be 2061, 2062. I saw it first when I was 14 in 1986. So the next one, I'll be 90 years of old. Crikey. I'd better lay off the hobnobs, just so I can live long enough to see it. That would be amazeballs. But the point I'm trying to make is, even Halley's Comet destroys the idea of a young Earth or a young universe. I hope you got something better, Matthew.
The second proof is simply the planet Pluto. Pluto is warm on the inside. Now,
are you the greatest astrophysicist the world has ever seen? I think not, because the truth is we simply don't know how hot the core of Pluto is. We don't even know what it's made of for certain. Some theorize it's a rocky core. Some theorize it's like the core is 60% of the planet's mass. Some believe that it's got a molten core and that melts the ice. or the methane mantle surrounding it, if you will, and that creates a thin atmosphere. Some theorise that. But the simple fact of the matter is, we just don't know. See, that's the difference between science and young Earth creationism. Young Earth creationism thinks that it has all the answers. Science doesn't. So what science does is make observations and studies and tests, etc., etc., to find out those answers. Young Earth creationists like your good self just sit on their backsides reading a book. And that's it.
Now, if Pluto was from 4.5 billion years ago, when it finally was created back then, it would be freezing cold on the inside. There's no way that something could just stay that warm for that long, for the course of 4.5 billion years.
Well, the Earth seems to be doing a pretty good job. I mean, there's some heat left over from when the planet was formed. There's frictional heating where the denser core material sinks into the inner planet. And there's also decay of radioactive elements as well. So they help to keep the planet regulated, if you will. Like a central heating system, I think. So Matt, come up with something better or make me a bloody coffee. 2 sugars, please. Oh, thank you, my friend.
If you came to my house and saw a hot cup of coffee on the table, you would never assume that that cup of coffee was 4.5 billion years old. I'm sorry, it would have cooled off over the course of just 10 minutes. But people have no problem believing that things happen to stay warm for 4.5 billion years. It takes a lot of faith.
Oh, for the love of... He said it, didn't he? He actually said it. He's comparing a cup of coffee to a planet? Really?
The third reason is the planet Saturn. I mean, Saturn's rings are unstable. Saturn's rings are actually dispersing right now as we speak, and before long, those rings will be completely gone. Now, if Saturn, the planet, and the rings around it were 4.5 billion years old, those rings would have completely dispersed and deteriorated by now. But they're still there, which means that they were created recently, not billions of years ago.
So you think that Saturn's rings formed at the same time as a planet 4.5 billion years ago? No, that's not what happened. Cassini was launched, wasn't it? I think in the 2000s or the 1990s. 1990s, I think. And it crashed into Saturn in 2017. So for about a decade before 2017, it studied the rings around Saturn and it studied the rate of the dust that's coming in from the outer atmosphere. And it studied that and it made an estimation that the rings around Saturn are no more than 100 million years old, which kind of puts your young universe to bed, doesn't it? And you're right in a way. It's slowly decaying. I mean, the ice particles get pulled in towards Saturn, forming what they call a ring grain, and the rings around Saturn will probably eventually disappear between 300 and 400 million years into the future. So Matt, seeing as I've debunked that, have you got anything else for us?
The fourth reason is simply stars. Now, a star will die 1 per 25 years per galaxy. And so, if the galaxy was less than 10,000 years old, we would predict to only find about 200 dead stars in our galaxy. And sure enough, that's what we find. We find less than 200 dead stars in the galaxy. If you look at other galaxies, you'll only find about 200 dead stars in each galaxy, which means that if evolution were true and if the evolutionary timescale of billions of years was taking place, you would have hundreds of thousands of dead stars throughout the entire universe. The fact that you find only 200 dead stars per galaxy literally proves beyond any shadow of doubt that the galaxies, and our galaxy in particular, the Milky Way, is a young galaxy.
Two things. One, the theory of evolution has absolutely nothing to do with the formation of stars, planets, universe, how the universe began, etc., etc. Absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever. The theory of evolution pertains to only, right, a change in allele frequencies in reproductive populations over many generations. That's it. Done. Number 2. Right, the death rate for visible stars averages to 1 in 10,000. 1 every 10,000 years, sorry. So, if we're going to be generous, and you said less than 200, so let's say 10, because that's less than 200. So, 10 stars every 10,000 years, which equals 100,000 years, which kind of puts to bed your young universe crap, doesn't it? So, Matt, have you got anything else for us?
Now, the fifth and most powerful reason is actually the magnetic field of the Earth and other planets.
I do hope that you're not implying that the magnetic field was formed at the same time as the planet, because that would be really stupid. I've had to write these words down because I can't remember them at all. I can't get them into my head. So, earliest appearance of the magnetic field, right? Paleomagnetic studies of Paleoarchean lava in Australia, I hope I pronounced that right, and conglomerate in South Africa have concluded that the magnetic field has been present since at least about 3,450 million years ago. Kind of puts your young Earth and your young universe to bed, doesn't it?
See, magnetic fields are actually what keep our planets, and keep the Earth in particular, from being bombarded with space dust. If the magnetic field was too strong, we would die. If it's too weak, we would die. It has to be just right in order to protect us from issues from outer space or sunlight, deadly radiation coming through. And so the Earth's magnetic field in particular is very important, and it is vital to our survival. The half-life of the Earth's magnetic field is actually 1,400 years.
The 1,400-year hypothesis, or half-life hypothesis, doesn't stand up to any analysis whatsoever. The guy who first came up with it was a guy called Dr. Thomas Barnes, and you'll never guess, he was a creationist. And when he passed away, a Russell Humphreys took on the mantle, and you'll never guess, he too was a creationist. Funny that.
And so what that means is that every 1,400 years, the Earth's magnetic field gets chopped in half.
Wrong, for the reasons I've just explained.
And so you can only lose so much before you've lost it all. And if the magnetic field gets too weak, like I said, the sun's rays will penetrate the Earth's atmosphere and kill everything on the Earth. With the half-life being only 1,400 years, you take that back, even 10,000 years. If you were to go beyond 10,000 years, the Earth's magnetic field would be so powerful that it would literally kill everything on Earth as well.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I can't even respond to that. That is too stupid, even for the Sunday stupid. It's too stupid, even for the Sunday super stupid. For goodness sake, I can't. I'm lost for words. For once in my life, I'm lost for words. There is just too much dumb in that sentence to reply to.
So, no matter how the evolutionists or atheists want to play this game of millions and billions of years, it's not going to go their way, because truly the facts are on our side. Observation is on our side. Everything that we see in the solar system actually demonstrates that the Earth and the universe and the galaxies, the entire world is young and was created recently and not billions of years ago.
Something we can observe here, like the rings of Saturn, what Cassini observed, and then dated them to no more than 100 million years ago when they were formed. Interesting.
Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
I think I enjoyed it a bit more than you did.
Make sure to hit the thumbs up and comment down below.
I did comment down below and you deleted it and then you blocked me from your channel. Not very honest of you, was it?
Make sure to give us a good rating, because I want this content to get out to the masses and for people to understand that they were lied to by the public school system, and that there is truth in the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and His Word bears witness with everything that we see around us happening in the world today, even right now. And so, I hope you all enjoyed this video. God bless.
He just gets more dumb with each passing video, doesn't he? Anyway, please, please, please join me on the next one, which will be Wacky Wednesday, 8 p.m. this coming Wednesday. Don't forget the Sunday Stupid, 9 p.m. next Sunday. And watch out for a TV licensing video coming sometime this week. So, for now, thank you very much for joining me, and toodle pip.